G'day chaps and welcome to my Total War Warhammer 2 gameplay series. What we're going to do is obviously we're playing as the Lizardmen, and so I've kind of, let me show you where I'm at. Let me center this and I'll do the attitude here. So I'm not starting right at the beginning of the game. I'm not going through the kind of tutorial battles that you're probably going to play, where you have to kind of play these things to get your faction established. So I've already done that. I've wiped out, if you look here on Settlers Coast here it's called, I used to have an ally there and I've completely eaten them up. They're gone, so I swallowed them up, and then I took my main dude and advanced him south. And then you can kind of see in both the north and the south we're facing enemies, but in the north I've basically got a choke point. So if I zoom in here, you see my main city is called Hex or something, and the garrison there is enormous, so I get some serious units guarding that town. And there's a lot of them, as you can see there. And then I've got this army stationed here, as well as kind of like a small quick response force. So I'll come back to the north, we're going to do that bit next. But talking about the south, I've just defeated a minor faction and taken over their city here, Tlaxclan. So I've just taken that, and then my main guy is this dude. Let's have a look at him. He's very pretty, and I think this is the guy that will be on the thumbnail. I'll try and find a unique thumbnail because I know others have used it, but so this is the dude. Let me show you who he is. So he's a big character in this. Lord Mazdamundi. Character details. He is some kind of weird looking frog. Hand weapon, let's give him that guy. You take the best of everything, my friend. That's all fine. So yeah, and he's got a fair few skills already, so he's coming along nicely. I've got him positioned down here at the moment. As you can see in the bottom left here, his stance is in camp, which is a defensive stance and a sort of a regenerative stance as well. And I'm doing that because there is this faction here. What are they called? They're also Lizardmen. They're called the Uaxti. And they're neutral at the moment, but as you can see, I've already invaded their territory. So I'm not in my territory anymore. I'm basically doing a sneak attack on these guys. So I'll show you them diplomatically. Let me just center it. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. So these guys here, we are not actually at war with them yet. So we're neutral, but we also don't have any kind of agreements with them either, and they don't like us too much. And I don't think we like them too much either. So I'm going to sneak attack them on the next turn, because they've just taken this this settlement here, and I want to get into this settlement and take it and attack their army. Their army is smaller than mine, so I have basically a full army versus them only having 13. And then the other thing is that they've only just taken this settlement here, so their garrison, I believe, shouldn't be up to 100% yet. So the time is now, basically. Take advantage of the size difference. Right. But I thought, before we get into any of the big strategic stuff, a good way to start off this first episode would be with a battle. Everybody likes a battle. Now, there's this group here, they're called the Vols Expedition. Now let me show you what's going on with these guys. Rogue elements. So here we have a mission worth 2,000 bucks, which we need right now. Attack a force belonging to the following faction in battle. Vols Expedition. Description. These lost warm blood servants roam far from their island revered master. We do not have time to relocate such rogue elements back to their isle. I suggest a quick eradication. And we get some decent rewards for that. So I thought I'd start this episode off with exactly that. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack these guys. Rogue armies. But you see it's almost a fair fight. It's going to be a tough one. So our army, sorry, is not particularly tough. This is just a ranging scouting army. And I'm still kind of learning the Lizardmen, learning the units, who does what. It does seem, from what I can tell already, that the best approach for Lizardmen is just straight up attacking. They're not really a defensive or a kind of a ranged army, from what I can tell. The other thing when you're watching this, by the way, to bear in mind is the load times on this game are ridiculous. So I'm not going to pause the recordings, I'm not going to cut those out just because I don't have time to edit much in the way of videos. But I'm just going to have to talk over all of this. One of the only sort of negative points I've seen about the game is the loading times. I've not seen any other kind of negative comments though. The feedback about this game does seem to be that it is probably the best Total War ever. And I mean, I've got to say, it's a contender. I can't deny it. Yeah, there's a good chance this could be the best Total War ever. They seem to have just made all the UI and everything more intuitive and the gameplay even more fluid. And they've still retained that heavy sort of strategic element in the campaign map. But yeah, we are just going to have to sit and talk while we wait for these loads. I guess the other thing I could do is do an episode next time, one episode as a battle, and then one episode as a sort of campaign part, and then switch between them, and then you won't need to wait like this and listen to me ramble on. Okay, here we go. Start battle. So we have our one leader, and what does he have? Cold-blooded, so he replenishes hit points for competence. So you can replenish a unit, but it also reduces their speed, melee defense, and attack. Okay. And then we have this guy, a Skink Chief, which is a kind of a hero, and he has the same ability. Okay, so I'll use him as an offensive unit because we're short on units. And then basically I've just got a bunch of these warriors, and all they're going to be able to do is bum rush. So I'm going to hide them. Let's try and see if we can do it. Sneaky. And I'll stick a lord in with their units, a hero, sorry, in with their units too. And I'll keep our guy back on the wings. And then I'm going to use these two special units to kind of lure them in. So these are, what are they called? Pterodon Riders. Let's just zoom in here. And these Pterodon Riders, they're quite expensive, but I think they can drop bombs from above. Yeah, there we go. Drop rocks, sorry. Bombardment around self. Effects small strike area, strong versus multiple competence, weak versus single competent. So we get to drop rocks on them, and then the riders also shoot. So it's the kind of perfect way to kind of harry an enemy. So let's see if we can piss. It's going to be the name of the game here. So we're going to try and... So we're shooting at these guys now. Let's see if we can drop rocks. Oh fuck. I just wasted it. Ah, balls. I didn't know it worked that way. Oh well. Now I know. That's how you waste your rocks. Seems like we're getting shot a fair bit. So they have archers as well. I'm going to move these guys back. So the archers at the back, their range is actually quite far. I'm going to move my winged units into the trees and see if anybody follows. Let's see. So my tactics are, of course, ambush. So I really want to lure them into the trees here. Now, what are they doing? The other good thing about this game is the AI. You don't just fight idiot, you know, kind of retarded opponents. They're not going for it, which is kind of disappointing. But now I'm thinking, okay, I'll target their archers instead. If I can take out their archers with these winged units, then they'll have no means of sort of countering me, and they'll have to follow me. So let's see. So we just lost another winged unit. No, that's not working. Alright, they're broken. Let's withdraw my other unit too. They should rally, but we've lost... yeah, we've lost half of them, I believe. Well, half of their energy. So, it's time to pull these guys out of the way. So they've rallied as I thought, so I'm going to pull them right to the back. Their part is done. It looks like they're not going to take the bait. So they've not lost any of their force while I have. That sucks. Alright, let's try a different tactic. We're just going to have to rush them. So let's move here in the trees. I've just become slightly visible, but I'm trying to remain hidden, and as you can see down the bottom there, I'm still remaining hidden. So from their perspective, yeah, it's pretty obvious we can see them, but the game is telling me that they can't see what's going on here. I love this zoom function, by the way. I'm going to have a look. I'll see if I can find the button for removing all the UI as well, because when you just get some fantastic screenshots in here. It's quite a pretty game. Oops, excuse me. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got battle realism turned on, by the way, so I can't zoom up to a kind of strategic view of the map. Alright, there's nothing for it, they're not going for it, so I'm just going to have to rush them. I'm going to rush them on the widest front possible. I'm going to send my winged units around the side to frighten and confuse them. Then I'm going to come in with my lord as well as the backup, and I'm just going to try and smash them. So this hero up the top, he's going to run right around the back of them. Don't know what that means with the this caution. Don't know what that means. So yeah, I'll see if I can get a good number of episodes in today. I find always my best Let's Play series are ones where I can play across one day, and then maybe I'll release this content over a few weeks. But I always find my best the series I like to watch of myself are the ones where I can play it all in one go. So I'm going to see if I can actually do that today. So as you can see, I'm trying to really just surround them. I think that's the best tactic. That's how Hannibal beat a lot of Roman armies, sorry. Even though he didn't have the numbers, he was just able to surround a few Roman armies. And that was enough to, once you've broken them, that's pretty much it. If you've broken a unit and they start panicking, it's pretty much game over. So, it looks like things are going pretty well. There was virtually no resistance at all. Let's send my winged units in to take these archers down. So everybody's after these. Whoa, look at that. Everybody's after these buggers. Now I need to be really careful of their what's he called? Their lord. Because, as I mentioned in my review, right, you need to back off. Oops. Where are you? Something is kicking the crap out of... Right, I need to send some units in here. So, I'll get the fight going on over here to break this part here, and then I need to get my hero over. And I'm going to send my lord after him as well. Basically need to take out their main lord using my sort of action figures. One second. Cool. So there we go, we've shattered him. That means he's not even going to take part in the battle anymore, it's done. That was a lot easier than I was expecting, I've got to say. A lot easier. Okay. I reckon I'm probably going to pause it here. We have that massive load time again. I'll keep this first episode short and I'll release the second fairly soon after this one. Well, let's do it that way. Yeah, see you in the next one. Ciao for now.